ChatGPT stands for Chat-Generated Pre-trained Transformer. It is an AI chatbot that uses OpenAI's GPT 3.5 model for processing natural language. Several industries, including marketing, have used it as a tool to improve and automate interactions with customers and improve the whole customer experience. Some of my friends have also used ChatGPT to write about products, write copy for websites, and even plan events. I have used the program to write summaries of blog posts, metadata, and even code. People haven't stopped talking about ChatGPT since it came out in November 2022. We have seen a lot of use cases and suggestions for applications, but not nearly enough in-depth examples of how we could use it for marketing. This blog post will talk about how ChatGPT, a generative AI tool, can be used in marketing, as well as the tools and techniques that can be used and how ChatGPT and other language models will change the future of marketing. How can marketers make the most of ChatGPT? Research on keywords, ideas for topics, and groups of keywords for ChatGPT and SEO. 1. Asking ChatGPT to look into keywords. ChatGPT can help you start a keyword research campaign by asking you just a few simple questions. After telling ChatGPT the main term you want to rank for, ask it what supporting keyword you should rank for. The solution might not work perfectly for your specific use case, but it is meant to give you a place to start. Remove any keywords you think have nothing to do with your brand. Finding out what each keyword is being searched for is a key part of keyword research. This lets you make relevant website pages with content that appeals to the end goal of the user and keywords that are placed in a smart way. Ask ChatGPT to sort the following list of keywords into groups based on whether they are used for business, transactions, or information. You've already taken the first steps of a keyword research plan without having to download any extra software or know much about SEO. 2. Asking ChatGPT for groups of related topics. You can get started on making a useful pillar page outline by using ChatGPT to help you group content. Say to ChatGPT, organize the above keywords into content clusters to ask for clusters. The first set of keywords, which are about SEO agencies and what they do, are all about the agencies themselves and what they do. The second section, business-related keywords, talks about the types of companies or business sectors that the agency works with. The third category, services-related keywords, is about the many services that the organization offers. The level of knowledge and skill of the agency is talked about in the fourth group of keywords, which are called expertise-related keywords. This brainstorm is a great place to start if you want to add to a bigger cluster plan. Having these ideas in front of you may make it easier for you to come up with a plan for the future if you can find connections between them. 3. Asking for topic ideas on ChatGPT. Ask ChatGPT to make a list of the most frequently asked questions about your main keyword that are relevant to your target audience. This will let you make high-quality content that will help your audience most and help you show up in SERP results. You can answer these questions in a section of your website called Frequently Asked Questions, in blog posts, or even in social media updates. Making ads, researching keywords, and putting together campaigns in ChatGPT and PPC. Putting together advertising copy. With the help of ChatGPT, you can make PPC headlines that have high conversion rates. Ask this in ChatGPT to get a list of headlines from Google Ads. Use the keyword SEO agency to come up with 5 high-converting headlines of 90 characters, including spaces, for a Google Ads campaign. It's important to remember that ChatGPT is a pre-trained generative bot that can only access the data it was taught with. Because of this, the platform will respond better as more people use it. But until AI gets better, it's best to use it to get ideas, not to make them. This means that you can use these headlines as a general guide for making your own. 2. Keyword study. Keyword research for sponsored ads can be done with methods that are similar to those used for SEO. If you plan to run a pay-per-click PPC campaign, you should focus on keyword variations and synonyms. Use this ChatGPT prompt, Build a list of keyword variations and synonyms for keyword for a PPC campaign to make a keyword variation list quickly and easily. From ChatGPT, I started getting a list of more than 50 possible keyword variations. There were, however, a few duplicates, which I found. Even though this is a quick and easy way to make an outline of a keyword list, it will still take a human pair of eyes to refine and choose which keywords are good and useful for their campaign. 3. Setting up the campaign. I think this was one of the most insightful and convincing answers from ChatGPT. I told ChatGPT to set up a PPC campaign structure for the keyword. It answered with 3 different groups of ads, each with its own focus keywords, supporting keywords and headlines. It went one step further by giving me suggestions for how to set up my marketing. This can be a helpful tool if you're planning a PPC campaign for a product you don't know much about, or if you don't have much experience with PPC. Outlines for blog posts and social media captions made with ChatGPT and copywriting one. Outlines for blog posts. When you're done with your keyword research and know what questions your audience asks most often, content marketing may be the next step. ChatGPT can, of course, also help you with this. As you can see, I didn't just copy and paste the answer, but it did give me a general idea of how to organize the information and get me thinking about how I wanted to do that. Also, ChatGPT's answer was short because I did not ask for a certain number of words. I did find that some of ChatGPT's answers would make things better, but I also found that some of them wouldn't add anything new. It's important not to copy AI responses word for word because Google won't give you points for content that isn't original and doesn't add anything to what's already online. Use any ChatGPT answer as a suggestion, not as a way to get help. 2. Social media captions. With ChatGPT, a great time-saving tool, you can make a month's worth of social media captions in a few seconds. I've used other AI caption writers like Copy.ai. From what I've seen, one of the biggest differences between ChatGPT and an AI copywriting tool like Copy.ai is how much easier it is to write multiple captions at the same time with ChatGPT. While doing research for this post, I found out that Copy.ai really does use ChatGPT to help businesses write marketing and sales copy. You can use this prompt to make captions for social media with ChatGPT. Write 30 social media captions for a company, they asked. Some ChatGPT users have even tried telling the bot to write their captions in a certain tone so that it fits with their brand. You can tell ChatGPT to write in different ways, like in a funny, expert, informative, or inspiring way. The AI may come up with a focused slogan or starting point that you and your team can use right away or build on by giving it more information about the brand, goods, and other things. Your current ad copy will be better if you talk about GPT in it. 1. Improve the text of your current ad. If your current ad wording isn't getting the CTR you want, ChatGPT might be able to help. The more specific your needs are, the better the results will be. Because of this, I decided to let ChatGPT know that I wanted to improve my CTR and needed headlines that were better than the original ones. Read the exchange below. The answers were great, but I thought they were too long to get people's attention right away. I was afraid that a Facebook ad campaign would cut them off. I asked ChatGPT to shorten the headlines because you can tell it to build on answers it has already given. I now have 5 catchy, attention-getting headlines that I can use as examples when writing ads in the future. ChatGPT is what I like to call my creative partner. The AI tool is a great way to come up with ideas and make sketches, but it doesn't always give correct answers, and some of the data may be out of date. How marketers can make ChatGPT work better for them. Use role play and explain it. One of the best ways to use ChatGPT is to start the main question with pretend you are you are this expert. If you want help with public speaking, you could start your question with you are an experienced public speaking coach. There are a lot of helpful role play ideas on GitHub. Always include context. If you wanted someone to do a hard task well, you would need to tell them about the situation and give them background information. When it comes to AI, the more information you give, the more relevant, useful, and personalized the answer will be. Use the Regenerate button to give it another chance. If you don't like the answer, click Regenerate at the bottom of the screen. You can still see past answers to the same question on the left side of the screen below the OpenAI logo. Use the user interface that lets you talk. Use the conversational interface to change the responses or make them better. Try one of these ideas. Make it longer, funnier, shorter, sound more serious, convincing, or technical. Use fewer adjectives. Add more hashtags. Give more choices, or add another line at the end. You get my point, right? Utilize figures. If you want to make a list of ideas, brand names, or email subject lines, ask for 10 ideas instead of just one. Use the number to get as many options as you want. Be specific and avoid asking broad questions. Instead of asking it to make a general tweet about art, ask it to write about how the Spanish War affected Picasso's art and whether it had a similar effect on the art of other artists. The more specific the question, the more helpful and detailed the answer will be. Make a table out of it. One cool thing about ChatGPT is that it can turn answers into tables, lists, flowcharts, snippets of code, and more. If you don't like reading long, complicated paragraphs, ask for something like a table or a bulleted list that fits your needs. Needs of the user and limits. You can ask any question you want, but make sure to add any conditions or limits at the end. You could add these instructions to the end of your prompt, for example. Keep it under 100 words. Keep your response to between 50 and 100 characters. Avoid the words synergy and innovation. Walk me through it step by step. Explain it to me as if I were my grandmother. Break down your reasoning for the advice. Find alternatives for less than $500. Make it work for 20 people, and keep in mind that I don't drink beer. Be imaginative. Improve your ability to think critically. Try thinking of a different question to ask. Critical thinking has always been a useful skill in business and in life in general, but with the rise of generative AI, it has become much more important. Knowing what questions to ask an AI system is a very important skill, because the answers to two different questions can be very different. In conclusion, I'll say that ChatGPT is a powerful language generation model that can be used in many different fields, especially digital marketing. By using technologies like ChatGPT as a content producer or to write product descriptions and customer service responses, businesses can save time and money while also making the customer experience better. ChatGPT and GPT-3 powered tools still have problems that need to be looked at by a qualified person and fixed. Talk to a no-good expert right away to find out where you could be using more technology if you're trying to build or add more AI to your marketing projects and campaigns.